Hello and global greetings, friends, and welcome to Let's Talk About It with Danelle Boyles, and I'm coming to you from the US. I like to call these little eye opener conversations of ours our 10-minute talks, and they are about important topics that are compacted into small tidbits of conversational format that are easy to digest, a way to stimulate new learning and desire, and to expand the thinking. In our 10 minutes today, we are taking a few of chat and expand time to talk about the role of meditation and its way of reducing stress and anxiety. So come along with me and join me and let's talk about it. I am going to be inviting Maya to join us for this conversation.
Hiya,
Hey Maya, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Just feeling energized. How's your Monday treating you?
Fantastic. Today's been pretty good so far.
Love to hear it. What's been the highlight of your day?
I got to have my coffee and toast outside in a very cool 72-degree weather this morning.
That sounds like an absolute dream.
Yeah.
There's something about that specific temperature that just makes everything feel fresh.
Hmm.
Did you get some quality time with Zoe while you were out there?
I did actually. Zoe was outside with me, and she enjoys that kind of weather just as much as I do, and just relaxing in the yard. And she also gets some bites of toast.
A dog who gets toast, she's living the absolute best life. I've heard border collies are basically geniuses, so
Hmm.
she probably has you trained to give her those bites now.
She does. I like for her to enjoy things just as much as I do, as long as it's dog friendly.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
It's a sweet way to bond. Did she do anything particularly funny or weird today, or was it just pure relaxation?
No, but she likes to give me that kind of side eye whenever she wants something.
The legendary border collie side eye. It's a power move. I bet she doesn't even have to bark. She just looks at you and you're like, fine, more toast.
Oh no, thank goodness she's not much of a barker unless she's disturbed by, I don't know, presences that aren't supposed to be here.
A quiet dog is a win, though I've heard those presences are usually just a very suspicious leaf blowing across the yard. Does she have a specific I'm guarding the perimeter look, or does she just go full alert mode?
No, she goes full alert mode.
Of course she does.
Yeah. All right. Well, Miss Maya, today I am asking you to come join me for a 10-minute conversation on the role of meditation and reducing stress and anxiety. Are you in?
I am in. I'm absolutely in. I've always been fascinated by how something as simple as sitting still can actually rewire the way we handle the chaos of the day.
Absolutely.
Where do you want to start?
Well, I can say we'll probably go a few minutes over on this one today because enjoyed a conversation about Zoe, and then this is one of those topics that I specialize in as a consciousness coach. So I have a lot of study in it, a lot of comprehension and understanding, and I very much enjoy sharing it with others who struggle with finding that inner balance of being able to control their stress and anxiety. So being able to teach other people how to find that and that calm is very important for me.
It's a huge gift to be able to guide people toward that, especially since so many people feel like they're just drifting in their own stress until someone shows them the anchor.
Yeah.
I'm curious when you're coach. Wait, I think we might have a little overlap there. Since you're the expert here, I'll step back. Tell me, what's the most common misconception people have when they first start trying to meditate?
A lot of times people try too hard. They put too much thought and effort into the fact that meditation and reducing stress and anxiety does not have to be something that causes you stress and anxiety. The forming habits of meditation is actually very simple. Forming different habits that allow yourself to bring the calm and the peace and the understanding of why you spin out of control to begin with. It's all of those things take um, kind of a step back and a conscious awareness of understanding when you're trying to learn how meditation plays a role in reducing stress and anxiety. So it's a matter of teaching your body safety. And when you teach your body safety, then you learn to recognize the cues of what amps you up, and then you also learn what brings you down. And but also, I think we want to discuss what the actual role of meditation is. Whenever you're learning meditation, you are learning how to regulate your nervous system. You're learning how to calm that fight or flight. You're learning to introduce the different key chemicals that signals your body that it is safe and that it is calm. And meditation does that. It teaches your nervous system how to relax. And whenever you take the time to actually learn how to do that, you can learn to do it on command. No matter what type of situation you're in, you are training your nervous system and your mind and your body to be able to, relax on command, to keep yourself under control and regulated. And then eventually someone who has difficulty with dealing with stress and anxiety can control their nervous system just by following certain practices.
That's such a powerful way to put it, teaching your body safety.
Mm-hmm.
I love that framing because it takes the pressure off the achievement of meditation and turns it into a conversation with your own biology.
Yeah.
For someone who is constantly in that fight or flight mode, the idea of relaxing on command almost sounds like a superpower. I imagine for a lot of people, the biggest hurdle isn't the technique itself, but actually believing that their body is capable of feeling safe in the first place.
Right.
Does that ring true for the people you coach?
Yeah, I do. I do find that to be true.
It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you've spent years on high alert, your brain starts to think that being stressed is actually the only way to stay safe. It's like the smoke detector in your head is just permanently stuck on loud.
Yeah,
I'm wondering.
never putting your back
Exactly.
to a crowd.
Right. Like you're always scanning for the exit or the threat. It's that hypervigilance where you can't even enjoy a nice morning with toast and a dog because you're subconsciously waiting for the other shoe to drop. When you're helping people move past that, do you find they struggle more with the physical feeling of letting go or the mental fear of what happens if they stop being on guard?
Probably a little bit of both.
It's a tricky loop.
Mm-hmm.
Because the physical tension is often the mental fear made manifest. If you can't get your shoulders to drop, your brain thinks, well, I'm still tense, so there must still be a danger. It's like they're feeding each other. I'd love to know how you handle that. Do you start with the body to trick the mind, or do you work on the mental narrative first?
I generally start with the body, and it begins with fascia release. Typically, whenever you're feeling anxiety and whenever you're feeling that pressure to release that valve, it's because you have some form of energy built up within the body that cannot release or hasn't been navigated or recognized, and so it creates an inner pressure valve that just is constantly under pressure.
The idea of an inner pressure valve is such a visceral way to describe it. I can imagine that for a lot of people, they don't even realize they're carrying that physical buildup until it's finally released. I'm curious about the fascia release, since that's such a specific physical approach. How does that bridge the gap back to the mental state of calm you were talking about?
Because whenever you have circumstances in your life that you've developed trapped trauma, which in turn is just embedded energy that is trapped within the fascia of the body, which is the tissues that line all of your muscles and ligaments and attaches basically all the things within your components of your human makeup. Then releasing that, because just it's not that you can just think about it. It's not necessarily related to an idealization of a particular time and place. It's energy that is just structurally embedded throughout your fascia network. And so whenever you do fascia work, you can do that yourself, or you can do that with a professional, like a physical therapist or just a massage therapist. Or you can also use an energy worker, which is something that I'm also a professional in. But when you release that embedded, trapped energy, then you are releasing reasons that you are in that fight or flight mode anyway.
That is wild. It's almost like the body is keeping a record of things the mind might have pushed aside or forgotten. If you're structurally like holding onto that tension in your tissues,
Mm-hmm.
it makes total sense why you can't just think yourself into a state of calm. Your biology is literally telling you that you're still in the middle of the event.
Right.
I'm curious, when you're doing this energy work or fascia release, do you notice people having emotional releases? Like
So,
suddenly feeling a wave? I've heard that can happen,
and
like a floodgate,
yeah,
just it's like the body finally feels safe enough to let it all out.
right.
Do you find that those emotional bursts are usually a relief for your clients, or does it feel overwhelming for them at first?
It can be both because it's unexpected, but it's also a relief because then once it's released, then there's much less anxiety and pressure within the body, and it also increases the health benefits. Um, I guess let's talk for a second about the actual role of meditation in reducing stress and anxiety. If you were to give just a very brief breakdown, um, of like a systematic explanation why meditation helps for individuals that may not understand about the fascia or how energy works within the body, how would you explain it in a very brief notion for others to understand the role of meditation in reducing stress and anxiety?
I'd put it simply, meditation is like a reset button for your nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
It tells your brain, hey, we're not being chased by a tiger right now, and shifts you from that high alert survival mode into a state of rest and recovery.
Mm-hmm.
By practicing it, you're basically training your mind to find the exit ramp from stress before you hit the point of no return. Does that land in the right ballpark for how you'd explain it to a beginner?
Yeah, I think so. And whenever you put it in that way, it's a little easier to understand. Individuals whenever they experience anxiety and stress, they're not always putting other components together, and trying to understand how the energetic superhighway of the body operates. But it does help once an individual starts to learn more about meditation and how to reduce their stress and anxiety in the body. It helps to kind of navigate in that direction so that others understand a little bit more.
It's almost like you're giving them a map of their own internal landscape once they realize that anxiety isn't just a feeling in their head, but a physical process happening in their tissues and nervous system. It stops being this scary, mysterious monster and starts
Right.
being something they can actually manage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering,
That's
for
fun.
someone who is totally new to this and
Mhm.
feeling that inner pressure valve today, what's one tiny low pressure way they could start inviting that calm in right now?
Just breathing, being aware of your breath and where you feel within your body, where tension and anxiety lays, and breathe into those spaces. And as you're doing that, you're recognizing where it lies and you're releasing it.
It's the most basic tool we have,
Mhm.
yet it's usually the first thing we forget to do when we actually need it.
Right. You
I love how that's not about forcing the breath, but
Mhm.
just being aware of it.
Yeah.
It's like you're just acknowledging the tension instead of fighting it.
Right.
Since you're a consciousness coach, do you find that people are often surprised by where they're actually holding their stress? Like, is it always the shoulders, or
No,
do you see some weird spots?
anywhere. It can be literally anywhere in your body, and a lot of time is connected to even like past injuries. If you had an injury and you experienced a particularly stressful experience with it, then wherever that injury is, regardless if it is healed or not, you can still hold energetic memory within that space that causes it to be irritated, or that doesn't even actually have to do with the component of like what the energy, or excuse me, what the injury was. And so you can hold it anywhere in your body, literally.
That is wild. It's like your body is a living diary.
It is.
So it really is. I can imagine that's a huge aha moment for your clients when they realize an old ankle sprain from 10 years ago might be contributing to their current anxiety.
Right.
It makes the whole process feel so much more integrated.
It is. All right, Miss Maya, we're going to have to wrap up our conversation so we can keep this easily digestible for our viewers. But I really appreciate you joining me today. And this is definitely one that we can put down to have future conversations about, because there's many different avenues and ways to learn about how you operate in it. So, but I thank you for your conversation today. Is there anything you'd like to say to wrap up our chat?
It's been such a pleasure joining you. I'm honestly walking away from this feeling a bit more mindful of my own internal landscape. Thank you for sharing your expertise. I love how you make something as complex as the nervous system feel so accessible and human. I'm looking forward to diving into those other avenues with you next time.
Always.
Namaste.
Thanks a lot, Maya.
Take care.
All right, guys.
You're so welcome.
As always, thank you for joining us, and I hope you take away some wonderful growth and expansion from our conversation today. Remember to keep learning and expanding those minds, hearts, and horizons. And until next time, remember to breathe. Namaste.
Bye for now.
Bye, Maya. Thank you.